The Hundred Years' War between England and France lasted from 1337 to 1453, but it wasn't just one continuous conflict. It was actually a series of wars fought over more than a century. Here are some lesser-known facts about this epic struggle. First, the war wasn't really about 100 years of non-stop fighting. There were long periods of truce and peace, with battles often separated by decades. In fact, the war was fought over three distinct phases known as the Edwardian, Caroline, and Lancastrian phases. Second, one of the main causes of the war was a legal technicality. Edward III of England claimed the French throne through his mother, Isabella of France. The French, however, had adopted the Salic law, which excluded women from inheriting the throne, making Edward's claim invalid in their eyes. Third, the infamous English longbowmen were game-changers. At the Battle of Agincourt in 1415, English archers devastated the French knights. Their ability to fire arrows rapidly and from a distance overwhelmed the heavily armored French forces, turning the tide in England's favor for a time. Fourth, the Hundred Years' War saw the rise of early nationalism. The French and English peoples began to see themselves as separate national identities, a concept that was still developing at the time. Fifth, Joan of Arc, a teenage peasant girl, led the French army to several victories. What's less known is that after she was captured and burned at the stake for heresy, she was posthumously exonerated and eventually canonized as a saint. Sixth, the war devastated large parts of France, leaving its economy in ruins. However, this allowed France to later centralize its government and emerge as a stronger, more unified nation under Charles VII. Seventh, despite early English successes, the war marked the end of England's attempts to conquer France. By 1453, England lost nearly all its territories in France except for Calais. Eighth, the war spurred technological and military innovations, such as more advanced fortifications and the use of gunpowder, which played a pivotal role in later conflicts. Ninth, Henry V's victory at Agincourt was immortalized by Shakespeare, but few know that the English king died shortly after, leaving behind an infant son, Henry VI, who would later plunge England into the War of the Roses. Lastly, the war's outcome wasn't just political, it influenced culture, language, and even fashion across Europe. It laid the groundwork for the Renaissance and the rise of modern European nations. For more hidden stories from history, subscribe to Arca Veritatis, where we uncover the facts you won't hear in your history class.